Hello, Hannah the Suburban Witch here, and today we're doing an unboxing video of the Elemental Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. In today's video, I'll be going through what the card quality and packaging quality is for this Oracle deck, my initial thoughts on some of the images and the things that come through, and as well as how it shuffles and how it spreads and those sorts of practical items. Stay tuned because I will do a review of this Oracle deck once I've had time to play with it, so that'll probably come out in 2021. If you're new to my channel, I'm Hannah the Suburban Witch, an intuitive tarot reader and astrologer, and I love sharing all of my witchy tips with you here on YouTube. I release a video every Wednesday, so make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss one. You can also find me over on TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, and on my website, suburbanwitchery.com, where I run a blog. Okay, so we have this deck here. It is super shiny, as you can see. I mean, it's still in the packaging, but there's a very beautiful holographic glow to it. So what this deck says on the front, it's the Elemental Oracle, Alchemy, Science, and Magic. And the artwork is by Kinga Britschke. Our ancestors harnessed the power of earth, air, fire and water, lunar and solar, and the four directions. All of these have been key parts of pagan and witchcraft traditions for millennia. Now we add the alchemy of science, from the smallest atom to the greatest sun, from magnetism to electricity, from the fiercest storm to the stillness of gravity. Now you can connect into this powerful weaving of true magic. This is a 44 card deck and guidebook. Let's crack into it. I've just taken off the plastic and we can actually see the entire box. Every section that is this silver color is this holographic look to it, which I love. I think that's fantastic. It catches the eye. It's really pretty. It's just a little something extra. And I do love when you've got a really pretty box. Now it does feel pretty sturdy. This is going to be much better than a standard Rider-Waite Smith pack that comes in a very flimsy cardboard. This is sturdy. This is going to last you a while. You can keep your cards in there. When we open it up, we can automatically see we have a guidebook. Let's flip that out. Guidebook and a little card in here from the publisher. They do have an app that you can use and it gives you details on that. We have more of this beautiful shiny holographic, and it's not super big in terms of some of the other decks from this publisher as well. So we've seen the Saints and Mystics cards. They've got a really big guidebook. This one fits a lot better into my hands. And it's actually packed quite full of information, very similar to the Queen of the Moon Oracle in terms of how it looks just on initial inspection. So each page is going to have the card, a color image of what the card looks like, and what it is about. So that's great. Now to the cards. Let's flip those out and pull off the little piece. Ooh, oh, okay. First things first, I love the edging. I'm gonna try and get that on that image for you there. It is silver, like a full-blown silver edging, reflective. That's almost mirror quality. I love that, that's so cool, and I haven't actually seen that before in any of the decks that I have. In terms of the backs of the cards, they are really pretty. I didn't expect that. I kind of thought it would be more along this like darker image that we see on the actual front, but that's really light and playful and pretty as well. They're shiny, as I've said before. The shiny ones are not as good if you are taking photos of the cards for your readings and presenting them to clients that way, just because you do get a lot of glare on them. But it generally makes for a good shuffle. So I'm gonna have a little feel. They'd feel a little sticky, but it's hot here today. It's like 30 degrees Celsius and I'm heavily pregnant and quite sweaty. So not my usual, but let's just see how they slide. Not too bad, not super slippery, not super sticky. They're kind of in the middle. I wouldn't say I love how they shuffle, but I also don't hate it. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It seems like it would get a little bit better with time, but I actually think that edging makes it a little stickier. So it may be something where you need like the Magician's powder, which you put on your cards to just make them slippier. I don't have any of that. If you know where to buy it, let me know. but that could help. Let's see how they spread. Okay, they don't really spread super well. They kind of just glide as a pack. You've got to push them across. So again, that would just be potentially that it's a new deck, but it could be to do with the printing. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. Let's just pick a couple cards and see how they look. Okay, so some of them are a little darker. I've just picked 2, Snow and Ice, Electricity, Speed. So this card is Atoms, Building Atoms. So we've got on each of the cards, as I can see, there is a number at the top, which is very useful when looking in the guidebook. We have an image. It's a computer generated image, mainly photographic with some extra elements, which is really cool. Oh, I like this one. The animals one, getting some like almost like Frida Kahlo vibes from that too. Now we can see as well they've got images at the bottom, I guess, for the elements. We have a word, 2 words at the bottom of each card as well. So on the bottom of Snow is silence and snow. Those are the 2 words there. So these are good. I do like cards like this that have the simplicity for you to just sort of dive in, but they also have a word for you to go off. It's like a keyword that you can, like a jumping off point, especially when you're starting out. So again, very similar to that Queen of the Moon Oracle, just slightly different. Again, as you guys know, I love when we see diversity in a deck. I'm just doing a quick flick through, and the equator, or to make equal, we have a black and a white figure in this card. It's quite beautiful. Let's see if there's other ones. The Moon card, again, we have a brown figure there. That's fantastic. Fire, Outer Court. We've got a few white characters to be expected. Mother Earth, oh, love that one. She's a beautiful dark-skinned lady. So we've got a good mix here. I love that that's included in these cards. That to me is always a good point. Oh, I must say I'm shocked. I did not expect a card like this. This is called Fury Bushfires. We have an Indigenous Australian, so an Aboriginal person on this card, and a photo of the Australian bushfires, which happen every year. But I did not see that. You very rarely see the First Nations people of Australia represented in anything. I love that. That's great. 10 stars just for that card, I think. And I mean, there is so much meaning in that card. I mean, there is, depending on what you're pulling for in terms of, you know, what am I going to do about this situation? If you got fury and bushfires, you would know the energy that you would need to be in for that. That is fast, that is rampant, that is not giving, and, you know, no fucks are given. You're just going to rampage through and get what needs to be done. So I can see how that energy is so clearly represented there. The other thing with this card is the way that land management was treated by the Aboriginal people was so much better than what we do now, which is pretty much nothing. The bushfires that we see, whilst bushfires themselves are necessary for the Australian bush to regenerate and that sort of thing, the intensity that they're at the moment is far beyond what we actually need. And if we went back to the traditional land management ways, we could absolutely mitigate a lot of the loss that we see from that. So this could almost be a way of, you know, nature running its course, but also listening to the land and listening to what it needs, stepping in when you need to and stepping away when you don't. Oh, I like that there's so much in there, which, I mean, as an Australian, I have a little bit more depth into that, but I really like that. All right, let's see a few of these other cards. Oh, we even have some age differences. So we have a beautiful lady showing in the Water Creation card, and she's probably in her 60s or 70s. I adore that. Diversity in every aspect is necessary, and especially in the spiritual community. All right, so yeah, a few of those cards are a little sticky, might take a little bit of time, may also just be the weather that it is today. It's hot and humid, so I'll have a little play with them, and when I do my review, I will be able to let you guys know if that's still the case. But again, things I love the diversity, love the simplicity of the images and how easily you can sort of read into them. Just doing a couple there, you know, even this one here, the Mother Earth card, I'm saying Mother Earth, there is no mother, but that's the vibe that I pick up through this. And it even looks like she's underwater, which brings a totally different element to the idea of Earth and different vibes, and brings in the word cycles and that relation to the moon. And there's so many things there that you can pull from these cards. That's what I really like about Oracle cards. They have such a different layer to them as opposed to a tarot card. Again, I think my absolute favorite thing is this silver edging. I think it is so pretty and the backs of the cards look great. So very excited to jump in and start using these cards. I'd love to know what you think. Are you going to go out and get them? And you know, what did you like so far just from this unboxing? I'm excited to do a review later. And if there's anything else like decks and things like that that you'd like me to look at or review, hit me up, let me know. I've always got to put some decks on my wish list and I'd love to hear which ones you guys want to see. That's all from me today. It's been a pleasure and I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are today. Bye for now.